All right, folks, welcome. This is Hard Hat Conversations. I'm your host, Richard, here stationed in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. Today is July the 30th on a Wednesday, Hump Day, 2025. Today's show is going to be about, I'm going to call it, let me look at my notes, folks. You know, I like to look at my notes. I'm going to call it Racism Day. And the reason I'm calling it Racism Day is most of the stuff I'm going to talk about is it racism or is it not? I'd like to thank everyone that taking the time to listen. And I hope you learned some, and I hope I learned some from your comments. And please don't forget to like that button, and that'll let me know that you like what I was talking about. And put a thumbs down if you don't like it, and make a comment when you put a thumbs down also, because maybe I like feedback that can help me out. Okay, because we're all on the same journey of understanding what's going on in the world. Okay, so let's do it. All right, folks, I want to get into this. What are my notes saying? There's a community out in, I think it's Arkansas, and they want to build a all-white society. Hope I'm saying the word right. It's about 40 members so far, from what I read on the notes in the news. And here's some of the criteria in order to be in that all-white society. No blacks, no Jews, no gays, no non-Christians. That's the main people that they don't want in their group. There's probably a few other things too, but I'm just giving you a little small sample of it. This is an all-white community that they trying to get in Arkansas. They call it Private Membership Association. That's PMA. PMA, Private Membership Associations. In Arkansas, folks, Google it. I guess under the Private Membership Association, I guess they're going to test the laws and see if they can do that, because, they have like bars and, you have the VFW, you have all these different private organizations where you can charge a fee and stuff, and only members can join. Even Sam's Club is out there, and Costco and stuff. So I know it's a little different, but it's the same premise. If you say it's private, then you can accept only who you want to accept. So let's see what the laws say on that. I haven't looked up the private laws on certain things like that, memberships only. So I'm clueless. So we'll see what happens with that, folks. But I just want to let you guys know, out in Arkansas, there's a white American culture group. They want to build a white American culture. And I'm going to say again, they don't want no blacks, no Jews, no gays, no non-Christians, and a few other things. This place is run by millennials and Gen Z. Millennials and Gen Z. They also call it Return to the Land. They also want to expand it in other states. I know from my notes, they want to start in Missouri. They want to start a little outfit there. So, like I said, they want to expand there. The reason one of the main reasons they saying they want to do an all-white culture is not that they racist. They want to live in a culture that they like, and they saying they want to separate from a failing society. So in their minds, and this is nothing new, folks. We haven't had these types of groups since the beginning of time. They say they want to just live their lives the way they want to live it, and not be dealing with all this chaos and stuff they say in our society. And if you are an American, and if you have certain things that you like and cultural things that you like, you probably can relate to some of that stuff, what they're saying when they say they want to separate from a failing society. Because even me, like I said, this is Hard Hat Conversations, got to tell the hard facts and the hard truth. You know, like I said, this is racism day, so we got to keep it real. We got to take it from the heart. There's a lot of things I don't like about the white culture. There's a lot of things I don't like about the black culture, and I think we can actually relate to a few of these things that they're talking about. Now, the premises of all just white society, that's where the thing's gonna butt heads a little bit, because we live in America, and America laws say that you can live anywhere you want to. It used to didn't say that, folks, but we had amendments and stuff like that, you know, because of Jim Crow, slavery. They did the redlining against other groups and stuff like that. So even the Irish, when they came over, they was discriminated in a small way in the early 1800s as well. So you know the Jewish people was and stuff like that, but they was able to overcome that because, and like I said, it's a hard hat conversation. Let's tell the truth. If you disagree with me, let me have a comment. The difference between that is they all have white skin. You know, black people can't turn off the black skin. You have to leave the black skin on. So if they didn't like Jewish people when they came over to America, Jewish people, some of them changed their names. Italians changed some of their names as well. Irish as well, because they was getting picked on so they can blend in with their white skin. So that's reality, folks, and you know it's a sad case in American history, but we have to talk about those things too. So it's kind of hard for black folks to hide and get away from that. So, like I said, this is Racism Day. So that's what's going on in Arkansas. Look it up, Google it to get some more facts on it. I just have a few facts I got down on it for off the news on the internet. The next thing I want to talk about, folks, a little bit, and like I say, all this stuff I'm talking about today is just brand new to me. I don't have a lot of stuff on it, and some of it just happened. The Cincinnati, I guess it was the Cincinnati Music Festival. I never been to it, but I know a lot of people that have been to it. They say they had a good time and everything. But you know, like with the times today, the last few years, it seemed like every festival, every event is we have a problem. You know, sometimes it's a lone gunman, and then sometimes it's a whole bunch of teenagers, mostly from the poor black neighborhoods, coming down and tearing up stuff. I know folks don't want to hear that, but when we see the video, you know, you see large groups of blacks tearing up and shooting and causing problems. That's an issue the black community is going to have to address because, for once, we have these festivals for everybody can come, even the people that don't have a lot of money. You can come in and see some things and enjoy some things. And but if you have this mentality where you don't care about nothing and you're not taught to respect people and everything else, you're going to have these young people do this stuff, and then when they get in adults, they get into bigger crimes. You know, start hurting folks and stuff like that. So we have to address this single parent issue. And I know a lot of you are gonna say, "Oh, this and that, the single parent." No, it's not. It's not good to be a single parent if you don't have to. I know there's a handful out there that do the best they can with their children, but a majority of the percentage of the single moms are failing, and a lot of our churches don't talk about it. A lot of our celebrities don't talk about it. A lot of our politicians don't talk about it. And we don't talk about it in our own family. We accept it because they're the loved ones, and we say, oh, it's okay. We put a pat on the back. Nobody's sitting at the table and saying, no, we got to do better than this. Okay, we had one kid out of wedlock. Okay, we had two kids out of wedlock. But after that, you know, we have to start stopping that and saying that it's wrong. And that's one issue in the black community we have to address. And also in the white community, it's starting to grow a little bit in the white community as well with single moms and stuff like that. You know, so this society is, in a way, it is failing people because they're not promoting families anymore. Nothing against the gay lifestyle, but they're supporting that more. And that's not a traditional family in my view, but they have the right to live the way they want to live. We're not stopping them from doing that. but it's not a family setting with man and woman and stuff like that. Not saying that they can't learn something from the gay people, but the more of the nuclear family is gone, and it's hurting society. It really is, in my point of view. Like I said, like, subscribe, or comment if you disagree, or if you like it. This is Hard Hat Conversations. We all have a right to voice our opinion. It's the beautiful nature of the United States of America. As long as you voice your opinion that you disagree with something and something in the culture, that's fine. But when you start doing violence, that's when it becomes a problem, and all cultures have to come together and stop that violence. We can disagree and still live amongst each other, but once you start becoming violent, then we have a serious problem. I don't care who you are. Um, so in the Cincinnati Music Festival, I saw a video, um, and I know everybody say you got to watch the whole video. And I want to say something to this, folks. I do my best not to say the N word because I grew up around it every day. My mother used to. I remember one time I said it one time when I was a teenager, and she was washing dishes, and she yelled at me, "Don't you say that word!" And she was washing dishes with one of the more heavy dish rags with that dish soap hurt. It burns your eye. She threw the rag at me, and it seemed like it just wrapped around my face, and that stuff went in my eyes, and my eyes was burning. And I tell you, man, watch out for that dish detergent, that Dawn and all that Ajax. Don't let that get in your face; it'll burn. But you know how they used to say the old saying, "Don't say them bad words, or I'll wash your mouth out with soap." That still pertains to today. So I do my best not to say the N word. Sometime every now and then you get in these predicaments where you find yourself, if you're around it a lot, you'll find yourself saying it a lot. And that's the nature of the beast, it's in your environment. But guess what, folks? Once you get older, and especially with the internet and stuff like that, like I said, the internet is good and bad. You learn other things and see other things where you don't have to do that anymore. You outgrow certain things, especially bad habits. You try to outgrow them. So my point to get to that, why I mentioned that is, it was two white. I saw in the video it was two white men on one video and one white woman. I just saw some of the video, not the whole video. I don't know if the white man did anything to the black guy or anything, but if he did, slapped him or whatever, the video I saw, the man was getting a beat down by a black mob. And once you got somebody, it's no different, folks, than when cops come to a person, a black person in the neighborhood, and you try to comply and tell them, get out the car, show me your driver's license, la di di la di da, and they don't comply, and then you have to say take them, and then they fight and resist. Then that escalated, even though the cop was asking nicely for the most part. They ask nicely for your driver's license. They don't just go in and jump on you and beat you with billy clubs. But if you resist, and they give you a lawful order, and you resist, then they have the right to take you in most instances. What I saw on the video, like I said, even if the white man or white woman did something, slapped him or whatever, they got the man down, and then all of a sudden they were just beating him to a pulp, stomping his head. It was a whole bunch of, even the black women got involved, stomping him and stuff like that. And when you got like 10 people stomping one man on the ground, the man is already subdued. He's in a fetal position. You won. You got him back. You got him restrained. You don't need to keep doing that over and over. There's no excuse for that, folks. No excuse. Once you got somebody under control, there's no excuse. That just brutal mentality. It's just awful. I don't care who you are. And if it was the same way, vice versa, it was just horrible. If the whites did it to the black like that, it would be horrible. So another scene, I saw a video that a white woman was actually trying to break it up between, I think, a white man and it was a black guy or something. The woman was trying to get intervene and push, and then I seen a black woman come up and hit her from behind. She backed up, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, a black guy came and sucker punched the white woman and knocked her out on the ground. Now, what kind of man would do that to a woman, a sucker punch a woman? It's crazy, folks. That's no excuse for that, folks. No excuse. Like I said, I don't care what color, what culture, whatever you want to call yourself. There's no excuse for that, you know. I mean, knocked the woman out, could have killed the woman. The woman was out. Watch the videos and stuff. It's horrifying. Don't let your little kids look at it because it's terrible. It's not funny either, folks. All them people around there with phones and stuff. And here we go again, the mob's mentality. Even the ones that are not participating in it is just as guilty because from what I heard from the police chief, Cincinnati, she said only one phone call came. And I saw a whole bunch of people videotaping it, laughing, screaming, doing all kind of stuff. So it's a shame that our society come to that. You know, I know, and don't blame it on the alcohol. I know there's alcohol involved, but don't blame it on that. It's just a sick society that we live in right now. We're not afraid of the law anymore. There's no respect for policemen because the politicians and certain lawyers and certain activists say that all cops are bad instead of saying there's only a handful. None of them ever say anything good about the cops. You know, they don't tell the stories of what the cops did behind, how they let you go for a ticket sometimes, how they help you out, and how they do fundraisers. All they want to do is focus on the bad ones. You got bad ones at your job. You got bad people all around you. Like I said before in my podcast before, I wish the black leaders or any other white activists or anything that would go down in the poor streets and start activating in the poor streets and start doing marches and calling out bad people, you know, call out the real perpetrators, you know, single moms that need to quit doing that, all of them, and quit and letting those kids suffer and living in all those projects where they can't feed them, and then and they grow up without dads and stuff. Talk about the dads to tell them to stay out of jail, start doing the right thing, put the drugs down, put the guns down. Tell the celebrities, politicians, church leaders, and anybody that has some influence, tell them to tell the truth. We got to stop some of these bad culture habits. That include the black culture and the white culture. When the white culture sees some racism, they need to speak up on it at the job. You know, say it's wrong. They need to say that instead of hiding behind and saying nothing about it. You know, that goes on as well. That needs to be stopped as well. So is it racism, folks? Is it culture? Is it just evil? Is it revenge or what used to happen in the past? I tell you what, if we keep talking about, like I said, don't forget the past, but if we keep revisiting the past every time we do something wrong and can't follow a law, then we'll never go nowhere. We'll be the dog chasing the tail. All right, folks, let's continue with Racism Day. Next thing I want to go to real quick on my notes. It's a young man named William McNeil, 22 years old. I just wrote some notes down real quick. I forgot what state that was. But it's a video out there that he put out there 5 months, 6 months later. This happened about 5 or 6 months ago. The cops pulled him over. His name is William McNeil, 22 years old, black man. The cops pulled him over. I looked at a little bit of the video, not all of it, to be honest with you folks. Like I said, look at it. So I need to look at it, the whole video, get an understanding. Like I said, like, subscribe, and comment if you hear anything that you like, don't like, or vice versa. They stopped him and said that he didn't have his lights on in inclement weather, which it wasn't rain. It was kind of foggy, but it wasn't rain. But then anyway, whatever else they did, it said this is what the police put down. He had a suspended license. He had marijuana possession and not wearing a seatbelt. So the little video I saw was the cop went up there as usual and asked, can I have your license? and registration. And I don't remember, did he ask him why he stopped? Yeah, he stopped because of the light. So he was questioning him. So, of course, he got attitude. Nobody likes to be stopped by the cops. I don't either. But you got to have some type of, what's that word I'm looking for? Some etiquette. They are lawful officers, and they have the right to stop you with probable cause. So when they do stop you, don't open your door and start yelling at them and telling them what they can't do and all that. If they ask you for your license, you just give it to them. Let them check your thing. If you ain't got nothing to hide, you won't mind letting them run your license. It's aggravating, I know, but they doing their job because maybe one day you might have to call them and they stop somebody from hurting grandma or mama or your child or yourself. So let's not be all crazy. We need the police out there. We need them to keep the criminals at bay. But it done got worse now. The criminals know that they can get away with a lot of the stuff. So if the cop asks you for this and that and you disagree why you treat me and all that, make a complaint, go to court, and do it the proper way. Don't resist. Don't fight because you're breaking the law as it is and you're making it worse. And then you have those incidents where the cop busts the window open and whoever that cop punched the dude in the face should be reprimanded. And needs some sensitive training, because they give other people sensitive training. So that cop need to be reevaluated and have some sensitive training, because you can't punch the window out and then punch the dude right in the face. Come on, you can't do that. You got to be able to restrain yourself. You're supposed to be a peace officer. I know he was aggravating, locked the door on you, didn't want to open it up, just doing all that stuff, but can't punch the dude in the face. And so they grabbed him out the car and they put him down. And they handcuffed him. That was that. So, is that racism, folks? Is that police brutality? Should that cop be fired, or should he just get a good big reprimand and some time off to think about what he did, like any other job? Let's say, for instance, you be at your job, right? And your supervisor, whoever, tell you, I need you to do this job, I need you to do that, and you're like, oh, this ain't my job, I don't have to do that. And the supervisor say, yes, you do, I need you to do it, or you refusing work. So if you refuse work, what the supervisor gonna do? He's not gonna jump and fight you, he's gonna take you up to HR. And HR gonna evaluate it, and y'all gonna have a hearing, and HR say, well, you was right or wrong. Why can't you do that when the cops stop you? It's no big deal, folks. Cops ain't going nowhere. We need cops in this society. They're not going anywhere. So I know it's aggravating to get stopped. You could be having a bad day, whatever, That's just the way it is. But don't make it a bigger deal than it is. Now you got the race baiters coming in. They chomping at the lips. Do I need to mention no names? You look at the videos. They're going to grandstand. They're going to do all this. Oh, here come the white cop was killing the black kid or beating him up real bad. But you got hell going on in all these black neighborhoods. They scared to march down the streets. I bet you now one of them will march down the streets and say, black folks, y'all need to do better in these black neighborhoods, in these projects. Y'all need to quit killing each other, hurting each other. You need to quit throwing trash out. We need to build up our community more better. Show some respect for each other. Take care of your kids. Quit having a whole bunch of kids by different men, and men quit having kids by all these different women you can't afford to take care of. Church, speak out about it more. We need to have seminars. Spend that money on educating and re-educating the black man and the black woman about family values. Use that money to do that. Try to do something different. Because whatever you're doing now, Urban League, all these black on black crime, what is that other stuff out there? Whatever the organization is, there's so many of them getting that government money. I can't even announce them all. But they need to revamp their program because their program is not working. Okay, you may save 10 or 20 people. What about the other 1,000? That's a bad percentage. You'll be out of business. So we need to revamp. Not saying that you guys are not doing anything, but you need to revamp because you're not getting enough product out to justify the money. It's plain and simple. You're not getting enough product out to justify all that government money and all of donations and private donations that people get to help these different organizations to help the poor and stuff. Because there's too much violence going on. Teenagers took over. Now they know that they can just break into stores. Nothing happened to them. Wearing masks. It's all over the United States. And nobody can do nothing to them. And then as soon as a white cop try to hold them or resist, they break arm, police brutality and stuff like that. Where's the mama? Where's the daddy? Where's the family? We have to talk the truth. This is hard hat conversation. This affects me and you. No matter where you live, the white community need to come together and start doing their part. They need to call out this racism. They need to do more as well. This is a whole community in the United States. It's a lot of damage been done to people. People need help. It's a lot of PTSD in the black neighborhoods. Come on. It's really bad out here. So it's just all hands on, but we have to take the lead as we used to take the lead. So that's all I got for you tonight, folks, on Racism Day. Hope you learned something today. I learned something today, too. I said a few things that I wouldn't have said before because I used to be afraid and don't want to hurt no feelings. And then some of the stuff I say hurt me a little bit, that I have to say them because nobody wants their dirty laundry out there. But in order to get our laundry clean, we got to tell the truth. This is Hard Hat Conversations. Thank you all for listening. Peace.